but it also gives you the possibility of being supply capped. So there's a couple of different ways you can do this. You don't have to use supply depots or buildings for that matter. You can just use observers, stand marines there, what have you. Observers are nice specifically for that reason. Manjunith is starting to incorporate medevacs, so that's good. But that probably should have gone up ages ago. He's also put down a sensor tower, which against the computer is not a bad idea since the computer doesn't react to what's on the map. But in an actual game, this sensor tower tells you that tells your opponent that you're going to try and siege them from this location. So I feel like it gives away a lot of information before any engagement is taken, and you really don't want to do that. Yeah. So he's trying to take this fight, and by now his army has fallen behind immensely. He just doesn't. He's been on one base this whole time. His opponents have both been on two bases, so he really doesn't have the timing. He should. 2 racks opening gives him. A 2 racks opening gives him an early game advantage that during minutes 5 and 6 predominantly, in which, as a Terran player, you should have more army than a Protoss player. However, he waited until the 12-minute mark to make this attack, and so while he is managing to hold due to the computer's poor mechanics, he's not trading well against it because there's just too much Protoss. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why. It's not so bad that I feel the need to restart at the moment, but he is going to lose the sensor tower, and Zenador is going to start pulling his army together to clean this up. I'm hoping this will solve itself. Huh? Actually, due to the computer's poor targeting, he might not lose any structures. Zenador is here with Stalkers so far. The elite AI does not seem to be aiding in this fight, largely due to the obscure map positioning. It seems the AI systems don't know how to respond to this situation. They're not programmed to do such. Yes. Before, back in Wings of Liberty, AI, you could beat AIs with cannon rushes. So, you can still do that now if you have very good cannon rushes. But you have to have very good cannon rushes in order to do that. So with Zenador here, he has enough Stalkers, Sentries, and an Immortal that the Marines should be fine. Or the Siege Tanks, more accurately. Some of the Marines may die. But this sensor tower will stay up, and the bunker will complete if Manjunith puts a worker on it. So Zenidor is probably going to look to push now. And that he does. He is warping in more reinforcements, but they are a little bit far off at the moment. Zenidor is a little indecisive due to this obscure position his opponent has put him, or his ally has put him in. For the Teal Protoss, it's mostly Zealot Sentry. For the Purple Protoss, it's pretty mixed composition. Sentry, Zealot, Stalker, Immortal, what have you. The Time Warp is down for Zenidor, and he is going to engage this composition of his opponent. He needs to throw down some force fields, I want to say, since that Time Warp has run out. Because those Zealots are not going to make this a fun engagement. The reinforcements from Zenidor are coming in though, so the Stalker charge lots will be able to deal with this fine. So Zenidor will be able to win this engagement. Okay, he's using his Sentry energy now. A little bit late, but better late than never, I suppose. I will also note that the Purple Protoss has taken a third. And if Zenidor is paying attention, he should know that there is a third on the map. He is going to throw down another Time Warp and retreat into the Siege Tank line. The Teal will follow and pursue, and because there is an Immortal there, I do expect at least one Siege Tank to die, since Zenidor has backed up behind the Siege Tanks. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it will be barely saved. We will see. Okay. It now dies. Right before the Immortal does.
Sorry, the Immortal. Dying before the Immortal.
And Zenidor will push again, as his reinforcements have kicked in. Again. There are High Templar out for the, and Archons out for the Purple Protoss. And that could be annoying for any bio. So Zealots, Marines, Marauders, any of that will not be very happy with Psionic Storm. It's also not good for the Sentries, as they can feed back or medevacs. So Zenidor is going to push again. He does have charge, as I mentioned earlier, and he should be able to shut down this natural one way or another, be it killing probes or killing the base itself, whichever he goes for, or whatnot. Maybe a little of both. Actually, that's the sort of thing you don't want to do a little bit of both on. You either want to kill probes or kill the expansion itself. Depending on circumstance, one is usually more favorable than the other. Zenidor will get the natural base and the probes, so that's kind of best of both worlds. And then he will pull back so that he can engage this army properly. He deals with a DT, as he apparently has an observer of his own, and sentries and a couple force fields will go up. So about these force fields, they're not really to block out his opponent as much as it is to force his opponent into a choke. And since he has charge lots, that's a very valid strategy. You want to basically you want to maximize the surface area of your charge lots when you can. Zenidor's charge lots are not here to protect, are not in position to protect his immortal and stalkers yet. So this could be very awkward. Zenidor seemed to be more or less aware of that and funneled himself into the back here. I'm not so sure if Zenidor can win this engagement, as the purple Protoss does have a superior immortal count, and Zenidor has already used up most of his sentry energy. So these zealots and immortals will be very difficult for Zenidor to deal with. The stalkers are not so much of a problem. However, Zenidor does still have the ability to take off a lot of, put a lot of damage into the purple Protoss's army before losing his, and he can rebuild his army, of course. Albeit the purple Protoss will probably be able to rebuild faster due to the fact that he is on more bases. So, as it is, Zenidor is ahead of the teal Protoss, but starting to fall behind the purple Protoss, largely because his ally Manjunith is not helping. This warp-in from the back could be very devastating to the purple Protoss, as that will mean charge lots will hit from behind. These charge lots have the potential to kill a lot and help trap the army, while the rest of Zenidor's army can take a more favorable engagement. That is a very nice force field right there. I don't think you guys can see it. There we go. So this force field here is cutting off the zealots from our purple Protoss, therefore allowing the rest of Zenidor's army to get the position his charge lots want. Fortunately for the purple Protoss, he has moved most of his immortals to the back, so the charge lots from Zenidor will not be as effective as they would like. I do still think Zenidor will lose a large portion of his army, but thanks to this force field and this warp-in, he is able to take this trade better than it was looking a moment ago. He will escape with minimal forces and run away. He did lose his sentry, so basically there's not much in saving this army other than some buffer for whatever other tech he's going to put behind it. So at the end of the day, I would say that Zenidor should have just gone home after killing his opponent's natural. Pushing into the main was not a smart idea because his ally is doing nothing. Had he had his ally with him and the ally had a sizable army, They could have pushed into the main afterwards. As it is, Zenidor